Falling in love is such an easy thing to do. Words can do it, we can do it.
More than 750,000 teenage girls will become pregnant this year.
1 in 3 teens in the United States will be pregnant by age 19.
63% of teens who have had sexual intercourse said they wish they had waited.
1/3 of sexually active teens who do use contraception use it inconsistently.
58% of sexually experienced teen females use the pull-out method, which is the least effective method of birth control.
1 in 8 girls age 16 has used the morning after pill.
Close to 25% of teen mothers have had a second child within 2 years of the first birth.
U.S. states whose residents have more conservative religious beliefs on average tend to have higher rates of teenage pregnancies.
The United States has the highest rate of teenage pregnancy, costing the country more than $7 billion per year.
The daughters of teen mothers are 22% more likely to become teen mothers themselves.
Only 20% of teen fathers marry the mother of their first child.
Less than 1/3 of teen mothers complete high school.
20,000 young Christians in this country have taken the vow of abstinence before marriage.
1/3 of the teen girls who have gotten pregnant had been drinking when they had sex.
We live in a world where losing your phone is more dramatic than losing your virginity.
You're supposed to be changing the world, not changing diapers.
I don't think it's a bad thing, but I don't recommend you do get pregnant.
Pregnancy is a little bit irresponsible because we've been taught in school to take the proper precautions, and when it comes to having sex for the first time, if you get pregnant immediately, it's a little bit embarrassing and irresponsible.
My thoughts on teen pregnancy is that it's a mistake that teens make, but in the end it's still like a joy to have a new kid, but they can make that not happen, and it'd be good if
I think that teen pregnancy shouldn't really be a factor anymore because everyone gets informed at a young age.
When it comes to teen pregnancy, personally, I don't think that I should impose my opinions on the rest of the world. And I'm a strong advocate that if anybody wants to, get pregnant in their teenage years, I think they should be able to do it.
I never really had the talk with my parents. My mom tried to tell me, but I kind of knew everything, so I just told her that I did and kind of pushed her away.
My parents have given me the sex talk. It was probably 2 or 3 years ago. It was really, really, really uncomfortable, and I guess it was necessary, but
My parents have given me the sex talk, and I don't think it was awkward because I am close with my parents.
My parents have given me the sex talk. They want me to know how to be safe and how to enjoy myself responsibly.
I do not know anyone who was pregnant as a teenager.
My grandma had 2 teenage pregnancies when she was 16 and 18, and she had her 3rd and 4th kids by the time she was 22.
I don't know anyone now who's pregnant, but when I was a freshman, when I first came to the school, there was a girl who was pregnant, and she stayed in school for all 9 months.
Can't remember anyone that has been pregnant as a teenager. I think that most people in our grade in our school keep it quite private, and it's not a big issue.
If I were to get pregnant, I would have an abortion because I don't want to keep up with that. I want to stay with my grades and stay in school.
Consider adoption or have a family member raise it?
Well, the vicissitude of teen pregnancy is very prevalent in our society today. If I were to get a girl pregnant, I believe that it is her right to choose what she does with the child, and whether or not she wants to have an abortion is up to her. I would leave the decision to the woman.
I do think personally I would keep the child, and it's important to keep the child. Now, whether you have the child and then give it up for adoption, that's fine in my opinion because they'll still go to a loving home. But if you can't provide for them, because it wouldn't be fair to the child if you were struggling and then they grew up in that situation. But if you can care for them, I definitely would take responsibility for those actions.
If I got my girlfriend pregnant, I'd probably kill myself because she's on the pill, and that you just know your luck is that bad.
I think that teens should stay in school to further their education, therefore get a job and provide for their family of baby that's soon gonna come.
I think it's very important that teens stay in school even though they're pregnant because in their futures, if they do want to get a job or do something else with their lives, then they should have some kind of degree or background so that they can eventually, if they wanted to, get a job or a career.
I don't think teen moms should stay in school because they need to focus on their baby, and when they start doing that, your grades will drop and it's just a disaster.
I don't think teenage girls should stay in school if they are pregnant because I don't think a school is a very good environment for someone who is pregnant.
I think shows on MTV show that being pregnant as a teenager makes it really hard on you because you can't do all the fun things most teenagers miss out on when you're pregnant.
Shows on MTV make pregnancy glamorous and a lot simpler than it is.
Shows on MTV like Teen Mom make the girls look disgusting almost. They're going through a whole pregnancy and the struggles they go through is just not what should be shown on TV or should be shown as popular or what girls should look up to.
I think that the MTV shows that display teen pregnancy, they're just bashful. I mean, it makes it look terrible. The kids are struggling, getting into fights with family all the time, and it's just, is it worth it? I mean, money gets tight, school grades, they don't stay up. They don't.
I think shows on MTV, like Teen Mom, that I think they promote pregnancy in the wrong way. As like, obviously, you get to be on TV, which I think people like, and you kind of get some like famous part of it, but also like you could see the struggles that they face throughout their pregnancy and their life after having like a child. So I think it could be good and bad at the same time, I guess.
Yes, because if they're going to preach safe practices, then they should give us the tools to do that.
I think that high school should provide free condoms for the fact that we don't want our students to have the issue of taking care of a child one day, because that is a huge responsibility. So we should, if you're going to have sex, you might as well have safe sex.
Alright, so I think that we should, or the high school should provide condoms because, I mean, I think it's just another way to be able to prevent things like teen pregnancy, because obviously it's a problem seeing TV shows like Teen Mom or 16 and Pregnant. So, I mean, I think it's just like one other way that we could help teenagers that maybe not be able to afford condoms or something like that, that you could just provide them from the school, and it would prevent a lot of issues for families and teenagers.
A good friend of mine's father always told me, son, no glove, no love. I believe that if we were to, the school was to install some sort of condom dispensary of some sort, it would lower the rate of teen pregnancy in our town and make for a much better society that everybody could enjoy, sexually and socially.
I would wear a promise ring because, let me tell you, that's how my granddad did it. That's how Daddy did it. That's how I'm going to do it. Keeps you pure, keeps you good. I'll tell you. I mean, kids these days, they can learn a lot from those rings.
But because for some reason in my head, I think it's special to keep yourself, because every single time you are sexually active, you give a part of yourself away in my head.
My thoughts on purity rings is that I think like growing as a person, you like might want it at one point, but I think that you'll end up changing your mind because mistakes do happen, especially as like teenagers and stuff.
I would vow to a promise ring because it would probably be the most responsible thing to do when you're in a relationship.
I don't think that I would have a purity ring because I feel like I'm capable of making my own decisions on whether or not I should have sex or not. I also think that by having a purity ring, it would like want you to explore having sex more than like knowing it's just like a regular thing.
The first time too many teenagers have a sex talk with their parents is when they're telling them that they're pregnant. Parents, if your teens have a question about sex, don't assume they're doing it. And teens, if your parents aren't talking to you about sex, don't assume they don't care. Teen pregnancy is 100% preventable. Start talking. Visit stayteen.org or abcfamily.com for more information.
Take all my vicious words and turn them into something good. Take all my preconceptions.